Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. JC here with another video on Action Taimanin. Today we're gonna check Saika after the renewal, but before we start, don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the content. So, Saika. She used to be a plain beat stick with, honestly, very little identity. She was good at dealing damage, but she didn't buff herself. Well, she did buff herself, but not like a Spinel that she over buffs. She just had like a 20% attack buff that you could have. She had the disarm skill that was pretty significant, but it had a long cooldown. And other than that, she didn't have any other particular thing in her kit. She didn't have a unique buff. She didn't have like debuff spam. She didn't have anything. Like, I mean, she got three things: dealing damage, being able to buff, and being able to disarm. But she didn't abuse those things. The only one she abused was damage. And now she's completely different. She's still a bit stick. She's still a damage dealer, but she's an insane damage dealer. And let's check what changed. So, first of all, she has a leader skill now. Gear warm up. One gear is activated on every critical hit and enters overclock state when all the gears are activated. Overclock grants super armor on all the skills, reduces cooldown by 30%, and increases attack by 10% and speed by 5% per activated gear. While overclock is active, one gear will be deactivated every 3 seconds or upon taking damage. The effect ends once all gears are deactivated. So this didn't seem that impressive to me at the very beginning, but now I understand that this is extremely busted. Let me explain. When you reach the maximum amount of gears, nothing is stopping you for resetting them, getting more new gears, and prolonging the duration of the overclock state. And that's what's busted about this leader skill, because you're gonna have super armor, and yeah, you're gonna take hits. They're gonna take away your gears, but you're dealing a ton of damage with Saika. She was already a pretty decent damage dealer, and now she's dealing even more damage. So you're gonna break the super armor eventually, and it's very difficult for them to interrupt you. You have the ability to spam your skills because of the 30% cooldown reduction. So yeah, you're just gonna abuse these buffs. They are amazing, honestly. It is some of the best things that they have designed. So let's check the skills. I'm gonna highlight first the ones that have changed, and then we're gonna check the rest. So the visual effects and animations, area of effect, and damage of some skills have changed. A unique skill has been added, gear warm up, yeah, we know, and also the overclock buff. While overclock is active, blah blah blah. Okay, the movement distance when using the skill hit kick and shadowless kick has been increased. Hit kick. This one, the red one, and shadowless kick, the green one. That's good. That's pretty good. Let me explain why. I mean, Saika has a ton of kicks, and 3 of them are pretty similar. No, 4 of them are pretty similar. Hurricane kick, hit kick, spinning kick, and gale kick. All of these are very, very similar. There's, they're different technically, but the movement is pretty similar, and that makes them difficult to distinguish between one another and to say, well, they are this impactful. But you know what? It's good that they increase the distance of these 2 skills, because hit kick in particular, hurricane kick is always going to go to the front, and the same can be said about spinning kick. But hit kick used to be like gale kick. Basically, you did move to the front, but you're gaining more distance now, which is very fortunate, because if you misfire and you're just shy, a little bit shy of being next to the enemy, maybe you're not gonna deal damage with the first hit, and that's the distance increase is gonna help out. As for Shadowless Kick, it's fine. I mean, it is good because you're gonna be able to close in the enemy, which is nice whenever they go away. So that's a good change overall. The slot effect when assigning two protect type supporters to the skill Hurricane Kick is now applied to all attacks that happen while using the skill. Hurricane Kick. Pull the enemies towards the character. So, well, that's a good change. All the hits are gonna have a pulling effect. That's really, really nice. Good change. The slot effect for a skill Gale Kick has changed. Yeah, that's one of the most impactful things. Honestly, this used to be a whatever skill that nobody used. Like it was okay to use, but wasn't as impactful. But now it's just a staple that you always wanna keep equipped. It's always gonna be basically your pure color skill, takeover, and Gale Kick. And if you don't take takeover, maybe Calamity Over or Moon Assault, depending on your needs. But yeah, Gale Kick is just broken now. So, let's see the changes. Previously, with two assist type supporters, you made the enemy groggy. Now it decreases the enemy's defense by 20% for 10 seconds. A big debuff with a long duration. Lovely. On a 10-second cooldown, I love it. What else? Suppress type used to increase the attack range, and now it increases the critical damage taken by 20% for 10 seconds. Mwah! Amazing. Honestly, it's a pretty good debuff. It is kind of a unique debuff, in fact. There is no icon for this specific debuff, so we have the... When it's a special debuff like this, it has a character icon, like a person. So, yeah, that's the thing, but I really like it. It's basically two defense downs for the enemy, different defense downs, and then reduce the enemy damage by 20%. That one, the blue one is not as impactful, but it is what it is. Basically, this is a great skill to have in green and red. Now, what else do we have? The basic effect and slot effect of the skill takeover has been changed. Previously, the basic effect was, let's go to takeover. So it was, it says, when doing an extreme dodge, disarm all enemies in the screen for 4 seconds. Now, when doing an extreme dodge, disarm all enemies in the screen for 6 seconds. That's excellent. Honestly, 4 seconds was just too little. Too little considering that it's an 18-second cooldown. And now we're going to be able to abuse this because of the overclock cooldown reduction. That's going to be amazing. And another thing that you have to take into consideration for certain builds, as I mentioned, technically, you want to have so much power with Saika that you're going to break the super armor of the enemy and you're going to keep attacking and you're going to keep having the stacks of overclock. The gears. But if you're not busted enough just yet, you can abuse takeover. You can disarm the enemies, keep attacking them to regain some stacks of gears after getting hit. So you're gonna keep your gears and you're gonna keep your attack buff. So that's pretty good. Takeover is an amazing skill, and increasing the duration is just great. Then the effect for protect used to be gain 3 particles, and now it's increased critical rate by 20% for 10 seconds. I mean, it's usable. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. Water. Yeah. So, the critical rate is fine. But the higher the level of your Saika, the more the less impactful it becomes. It is pretty good when you're leveling up Saika when you don't have strong weapons at 5 or 5 and plus 15. But later you're not gonna need this blue buff. But even so, take advantage of this. Sorry again. I have an allergy. So let's see what else. The basic effect and slot effect of Moon Assault has changed. Moon Assault, one of the best skills that Saika had. So, the basic effect: jump up in the air and performs a falling attack with an axe kick. Jumps up in the air and performs a knockdown attack ahead with an axe kick. Okay, so the description changed, but not only that, we can also see that the animation changed. I would say that it used to be you used to move a longer distance with this kick. Or maybe it's like a follow-up attack. I don't remember, and I have to test it. But honestly, it's moving pretty fast compared to what it used to be, I think. So yeah, looks good. Oh well, wait, you also have to take into consideration that you accelerate your speed with the leader skill. That's another thing. That's why Saika is insanely fast now. Let's see. Protect type, knock down the enemy. Now increases skill damage by 25%. Suppress type, knock back the enemy. Now reduce the skill cooldown by 20%. Honestly, I like these effects better because they are more impactful than the knockdown. I mean, technically they were impactful on PvP, but were people using them? I don't think so. Moon Assault wasn't like the best. Takeover, on the other hand, for your PvP. Yeah. So, well, we have anything else? No, that's about it. That's all the changes. So, giving Saika a leader skill made a drastic change. They also fixed the distance issue, the speed issue, the enhanced takeover, because while it was pretty busted, the cooldown balances this thing tremendously. So extending the duration is really, really impactful. They fix some set effects, which honestly are pretty good. Like the critical rate is appreciated when you're starting. The Gale Kick effects are amazing. They make this skill a staple for most builds. The Moon Assault is appreciated. I appreciate like taking away those effects, knockdown and knockback, because super armor. That's why. So yeah, and well, let's analyze the other skills super quickly just to review. So we have Fuma Martial Arts, Demolition Style. That's the basic enhancer. Pretty standard. It's going to increase your speed and increase your particle charge. We do not use this one. Saika is not particularly a ulti spam character. She could, but honestly she's not that great at that. Hurricane King, it changed. Yes, the pulling effect. It still has super armor, which is great. Not to mention that on top of the natural super armor, we have the super armor of the leader skill, which is nice. It's still kind of the weakest attack because the critical effect isn't the most busted out of all the effects that we can have of the pure color skills, but it has decent base damage to compensate for that, so pretty good for mixed builds. And Quake Stomp, still as busted as it used to be, like one of the few rainbow skills that are just busted. Not as busted by comparison to Sora's skill, but still pretty fun to use. I love this skill. Takeover, we know that it's busted and it's really good, and they change it. Hit Kick is still pretty good. It doesn't say that it has natural super armor, but you won't need it. And even though it has the critical multiplier, this is not the most damaging skill. The most damaging skill is going to be Shadowless Kick, so just so that you know. Spinning Kick still has the stun, which is appreciated on PvP. The HP recovery, which is nice. The additional hit, okay, whatever. Honestly, you always use this on blue or on green for PvP. Shadowless Kick, the best skill for damage dealing on this character. Um, Calamity Over, pretty decent skill that is going to give you a range attack with a buff. Damage increase on green, reduce the enemy damage on blue, and increase the speed on red. All 20%, all 10 seconds. That's amazing. Gale Kick, as we mentioned, it is just a staple, a really great staple for all your builds, except blue maybe, but still usable. And lastly, we have Moon Assault, which Moon Assault jumps up in the air and performs a knockdown attack ahead with an axe kick. So it's your HP recovery skill on green, and it's a decent damaging skill on red and blue. But still, the demerit of having to get up in the air and having the chance to get knocked back while you're falling, it's bad. But the speed increase is gonna help out with that problem. So yeah, pretty nice overall. Pretty nice. Let's see. I would say that blue right now is the weakest one. And when you use blue, basically you always want to use a Hurricane Kick. You want to use a Spinning Kick and reduce the damage of the enemy. And maybe Take Over or Calamity Over. That would be the best. Or maybe Moon Assault. Depends on what you want to do. You want damage, you want control, you want damage with control. Well, anyways, let's start testing this character. And, well, I already mentioned this, which is very unfortunate, but Ariel is going to retire, unfortunately. This weapon, bye-bye. I don't like that the new weapon outperforms Ariel in its niche, but it is just generically good, so that's why. Let me show you. I'm just gonna show you the number. No, wait. Do I have? Yeah, perfect. So the build doesn't matter. What matters is that I'm just going to change the weapons, and I'm going to put this exactly same Magatamas. Everything else in the base is the same. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use Gale Kick followed by Shadowless Kick so that you can see an approximate damage of what this can deal. So Gale Kick and Shadowless, and that's gonna be 40,000. No, 40 million? Well, whatever, you saw the number. Now, I'm just gonna change the weapon. That's the only difference, okay? Over here and over here. I have to do this comparison, like, I'm okay with the Renewal weapon being busted, but I'm not okay with them taking the niche of previous weapons. That's something that I don't like. Like, if this had enhanced blue and red, it would have been great. But keeping Ariel as the best weapon for green. But well, let me show you. It's because the effect is just too generically good. And yeah, that's 11 million more. Well, it is what it is. This is the new best weapon for Saika. Not only the new best weapon for Saika, the new best weapon in the game. You can see that everyone is now using Saika. You can see the builds, which are pretty interesting because people are starting to use the new wrinkle. Well, the seasonal pack wrinkle. Along with Mix Azusa. So yeah, that's interesting. Now, I'm gonna go to Arena Tower. Floor 20. And let's put Saika. And we're gonna use A machine type character. Assist. She's melee, so we have yeah, this leader skill. Critical damage increase. And yeah, that's no wait. Oh, now I know. I should. I forgot that it was a melee character, so I should use this one, and I should use this one. Yeah, those are better. Even though the other one gives me more damage increase, technically, the critical one, this also gives me critical rate, which I don't need technically, but whatever. So yeah, let me show you how busted she is. So we're gonna start obviously with a green build, her strongest build. She's gonna be using, of course, Boost Griever, which gives you 40% critical rate, 40% critical damage, increases attack by an additional 10% per gear during overclock state. Yeah, that's gonna be disgusting. We have whatever weapon, 5 out of 5 and plus 15. Critical Magatamas, Water Element, whatever Magatamas, attack Magatamas. Shadowless Kick, Takeover, Gale Kick. Francis, to gain more speed and to have HP recovery with the active, as well as insane damage. And Classic Critical Supporter just cause. Honestly, this is pretty good because you can just use your a bunch of critical damage increase. You can just forget about your Suruga now, and you're gonna have crit, and you're gonna crit thanks to the critical rate increase of the weapon. It's pretty insane. Stats of the customs, stat training, and let's do the run. So, this is gonna be pretty quick. I just start by evading, and then I use Shadowless Kick, and it's done. I didn't even finish the combo of Shadowless Kick, so you can imagine. Let's see, I'm just going to evade, and kaput. Not even finishing the combo. Unbelievable. This is insane. Okay, I'm just going to... And Shadowless Kick is just the best skill for this leader skill, because it's the one that deals the most hits, so you can keep the gears up. Yeah, like that. Perfect. And now I just do Shadowless Kick. Yeah, look at the damage, guys. It is disgusting. Yeah, not even funny. I love what they did to this character. I won't deny that. But you cannot deny that she's too strong. I mean, she was a good damage dealer, and enhancing that tremendously with both leader skill and weapon. I love that while the weapon is busted, it is only abusing what she already has. The leader skill, honestly, is pretty good. It's going to give you a decent amount of damage and speed increase. And if you pair it with someone like Wild West Francis, it's going to be amazing. You're going to have so much speed. So, yeah, pretty good for the most part. You saw it. Now, let's go with another one. Let's go red. So, for red, we're going to change to Hit Kick. Takeover. No, we're not going to use Takeover. We're going to use Calamity Over. Yeah, Calamity Over. Because Spin Kick is not something that I want. And Gale Kick we keep because of the debuff. It is just pretty useful. As for the supporters, you can equip whatever you want. Let me think. Technically, I used to equip Asusap, but I don't need the extra critical rate nor the penetration. The damage increase is nice, but I'm gonna use this. And then we put the double damage increase, critical damage increase with the combo Bakali, Ingrid, and Baretta. Maybe, let me check. Critical rate of demons. Um, no, that's fine. This is good. Everything is gonna be the same on the set, so only I change the skins. No, the skin, no, the skills and the supporters. So for this, yeah, as you can see, it is not as strong technically. And it's what was the command? Hold attack, hold the bait, and hold attack. But I don't need to do it anymore. And I have max damage. Perfect. Okay, nice, nice, nice. One more. And it's done. And then we just do that. And kaput. Yeah, just one activation of the skill is more than enough to destroy the enemy. And yeah, like, I know that not everyone is gonna have this level of strength, but Saika is gonna perform pretty well. She is not gonna be tanky, but she compensates with the fact that she does have HP recovery skills on green and blue, and she has a way to defend herself by disarming the enemy. So you don't have to worry about her HP too much, which is nice. And lastly, let's go with blue. Blue. So first of all, she's an assist character. You know what that means? It means Felicia. She's a machine type character. Okay, I'm gonna put the Founding 3, since we're gonna get a copy of the Founding 3 soon enough. This is a good way to show you how useful she is. And she's excellent on the main slot, by the way. If not, you can just put Kurenai, but I'm gonna put a damage increase, an HP recovery skill, so I don't need that. Now, on the last one, you can equip something as simple as the Uraru, which is good. You can equip something like the Arabella, depending on the kind of content, but I'm gonna put Anaros, which is a generic damage increase supporter, because she enhances crit. As for the customs, let's go with Butler. Butler Saika. And for skills, we use Hurricane. Yeah. We use Takeover, critical rate. Moon Assault, damage. Spinning Kick. Of course we did Spinning Kick. Calamity Over, Stomping Quake. Moon Assault. Just for the fun of it. Honestly, I don't need anything else other than Hurricane and Spin Kick. For utility, I would say to use Takeover. That's the best option. But since I have the damage, I'm gonna put Moon Assault instead. So, Spinning Kick, Moon Assault, Hurricane, Kick. Now, let's do the run. Just to show you how useful she is. So, my favorite Butler. Let's see. Yep. One activation is more than enough. Just a couple hits, and now... yeah. Pretty good. HP recovery! Haha! Just like that. Okay, I'm just hitting to keep the combo. And yeah, pretty strong, as usual. Okay. And look how strong she is. She's able to defeat this enemy, which is pretty tanky. And pretty annoying. God, is she strong. And I just destroy the mobs. And the boss. And technically, these are the ones that have super armor. No, not super armor. Damage reduction. The machines ones, because I'm using Saika and she's machine. So yeah. insanely strong. And just like that. Moon Assault. Oh yeah, I forgot to use Moon Assault. As I mentioned, you only need two skills on blue. The HP recovery and the spinning kick. Or are they the same? What's the name? Hurricane kick and spinning kick. So yeah, well, I'm gonna show you. Yes, of course, my favorite. For this, we're gonna use a rainbow build. The question is, what do I put? I was using Francis, but the one that gives the most damage is gonna be her. And on red, what is going to give me the most damage? Technically her. Yep. But which one do I want on the main? I want Felicia. Yeah. So for this build, we can keep the Hurricane Kick because the damage won't change. It does lose the pulling effect, but it doesn't matter. Quake Stomp and a Spinning Kick. And that's it. That's all that we need. You can use the basic enhancer instead of Hurricane Kick, but honestly I prefer Hurricane Kick. And for the custom, we're gonna be using the Summer custom. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I love this particular build because you just abuse the stomp. One time and again and again and again and again. Just stomp, attack, stomp, attack, stomp, attack. Stomp, attack, stomp, attack. And that's it. She's so strong that she won't be able to spam it as much. Stomp, attack. Stomp, attack. Stomp, attack. Stomp, attack. Yep, just like that. You rotate between the skills. As I mentioned, this is one of the few things that actually works. One of the few rainbow skills that actually works. Look at that. It is just amazing how much damage she has. Wow! Whoa! Yeah, I mean, Saika. Saika is just amazing. So, let's do an analysis of the weapons one more time. And let's do an analysis of the character overall. So, starting with Saika's weapons. Saika, over here. So, notable weapons. Let's see, those start. Critical rate, pretty bad. Increases skill damage, should be usable, but it's only 40% on SR stats, so it's not that great. It is not like an anti-trait weapon. Oh yeah, this is the ambitious weapon that was awful. Before having good ambitious weapon, we have these kind of effects, so pretty bad for the most part. The Sakura mileage weapon, which we don't want, maybe for the skin, but other than that, you don't want to use it. Round 0, not reliable at all. Increases basic attack by 20% up to 40%, and an active of 5 particles is gonna deal damage of 980% at max, and reduces damage and reduces the speed of the enemy by 10% for 5 seconds. Pretty bad, honestly. Like, Saika is not a character that relies on the basics. That's the issue. She uses them, but she doesn't abuse them. The arena weapons, which are obviously super useful. The Rebellious weapon, usable for Saika, but you don't want to make Saika the supporter, the debuffer supporter. No. You want Saika to be the main damage dealer. So while this weapon can be used, if you don't have other alternatives for solo content, it's okay. But for team content, please don't use this. No, Saika has better weapons for damage dealing. The SR weapon, the anti-super armor weapon, Aerial. This used to be so good. Honestly, I'm really angry that they destroyed the niche that Aerial had. and I'm not the only one. Gremory, please don't repeat that. Like, keep the decisive weapon as a weapon for a specific color or a specific niche, and make it reliable on that niche even after the renewal weapon. Just that. The renewal weapon can fix everything else on the character, but not like be the one and all cure for everything like this one. So yeah, good weapon. If you have it, you can still use it. But now there's a better option. Crazy Stomp, a bad weapon. Okay skin, but bad weapon. Booster Grave. Yeah. The one and only. The must-have weapon for Saika. The best weapon in the game right now. As you saw, Saika is the strongest character, and this is the best weapon. Should you get it? Probably yes. If you participate in Total War and you care about your score, okay, that's one thing that you should consider. Is it worth it because of the value that it provides? Okay, if you think that this is gonna be future proof and that it's gonna last a while as the best weapon and character in the game, I don't think so. Like, the previous renewal was Anna Rose, and she was the best for a month or two. So Saika might get outdated. Just keep that in mind. But it's still a pretty good weapon. Generic critical damage, generic critical rate and critical damage on your stats, and additional damage with the leader skill of Saika. So yeah, that's insane. It's gonna give a ton of value, especially to newer players who don't have strong accounts because of the free critical rate. It's just that. So yeah, I would recommend to roll on this one. It is definitely worth it. Now, let's talk about Saika overall. So Saika is... It used to be a pretty simple character. She used to be a plain beat stick with a couple gimmicks. But now, she's an insanely fast attacker. A really good and reliable attacker. And she still has those specific niches. She has great skills that you can abuse in different ways. Like, honestly, I'm impressed. There's only one skill that I would not recommend equipping, and that's the basic enhancer. Everything else in her kit, you want to equip one way or another, depending on the situation. Which I don't think I can say the same for any other character in the game. I don't know, but that's a pretty rare trait, to have a ton of good skills. Yeah. Honestly, she's just amazing. She's a great damage dealer. She has insane buffing capabilities. Uh, let's see. I have one doubt. Sorry. Let's see. I'm just gonna go over here and here, and let's do this. Okay. Okay. Overclock gives you buffs. The gears do not count as buffs. They are kind of counter. But when you activate the overclock state, you get buffs. Or is that it? Let me just remove this and this. And this. One more time. Yeah, you get buffs from the leader skill, which means she's pretty good at abusing Melt and Kana. Melt on blue, or is no, Melt on red, Kana on blue, and Melt on red. So yeah, you may use builds to abuse buffs with Saika, and she's gonna be extremely good at that. She had 3 buffs on herself. So yeah, should you get Saika? Um, Probably yes, because she's gonna trivialize content and that's gonna allow you to gain resources. She's pretty reliable because she has healing, natural healing on her on 2 colors. She has disarm, which is a strong debuff. She has insane damage. With this particular weapon, she has not this weapon, the other weapon. She has free critical rate for those who are starting the game. It's gonna be amazing because you're gonna be able to reliably crit on most of your builds. So yeah, I do recommend getting Saika right now. Like, you don't need it right this instant, but you might want to grab it. She's just amazing. But let me know in the comments what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think they overtuned her? Do you think the aerial situation was something they shouldn't have done? Let me know in the comments everything, and I'll be seeing you next time. Bye.